Now, the story is that they've been
listeners
following this, and they had an informant who the FBI had placed, so Tony Bland and the guy from Louisville, and then also Chuck Person, former NBA star, they are funneling. They're being paid. They're being bribed to funnel kids towards agents and money managers and financial advisors, and also Adidas is involved as well. So it's a bribery. I think the best way that I think the best way to describe it is sort of the way that it's here. The FBI and the district attorney, where the charges were filed and the indictments came down, showed that there were these financial managers and advisors sort of at the top of the list, and they were bribing Chuck Person, Lamont Evans, Emmanuel Richardson, and Tony Bland, these college coaches, assistant college coaches, who were putting pressure on players and their families to sign with these managers and these advisors. So money was being given to these coaches. Money was changing hands and getting in the hands of these parents as well. Wow. And Adidas is involved as well, because they wanted these, blue chip recruits to go to Adidas schools. Schools that are sponsored by Adidas, and then end up with these hand-picked managers and financial advisors, and just sort of handshake that they would sign with these guys once they graduated. The only thing that I can think of that might have been similar is with Reggie Bush, whose parents supposedly took money from a guy who was going to be his marketing manager once he came out, and they said, look, you don't know anything. They took his money, allegedly. Yeah. But and in this case, it's bad. I mean, these guys are going to jail. Yeah. They're going to jail. I mean, it's not going to be like big boy jail, it's white collar jail, but it's jail.
Well, Patino's been in trouble over the last few years anyway for improprieties in his
the prostitute, alleged prostitute ring and that sort of thing. And I think somebody put it best when saying, right on the heels of this, Patino cannot come forward and say, I had no idea about this. He may not have, and I'm almost certain he didn't know anything about this, or that a lot of this was being done behind his back, but he cannot come out and say this and expect to keep his job. I don't think. Yeah. I don't think. And we'll see, this apparently has, in the NCAA was blindsided by this. So supposedly they're saying that they've been blindsided by this. This was all the FBI, that they were first learning about this, but everybody is cooperating with the FBI on these things. But it's much bigger. We know that
it can't just be four coaches.
We know that these AAU coaches and jackasses like, LeVar Ball, there's shady stuff going on. Sure. With all of those sneaker deals, and with these kids who are forsaking their high schools to play for these AAU teams, and that's all about money. That's all about money. It's all about putting money in the coaches' pockets, and getting sneaker deals on their jackets and their training gear. And it's bigger than this, but this is where the FBI has started, because these are apparently ironclad cases. They got them on tape taking money and saying what they would do for that money. Tony Bland from USC, is going up the river. He played at San Diego State, coached at San Diego State, and he's been an assistant coach for USC. And they arrested him in Florida while he was out on a recruiting trip. And
no comments from any of these guys who
not from these guys, but USC has come out and said, we're cooperating fully. We knew nothing about it. Because this happened at least for USC, what I know, because this happened this summer, June, July timeframe, there's a possibility that they may be able to avoid and dodge some repercussions from this. You know, I'm talking with a friend who's an attorney who said, you know, if the parents and the kids can pay this money back, you know, the kid might have to sit out a year. They might get suspended and that sort of thing. But it's not going to look good on any program that's involved.
How many kids are you talking about?
They said 10.
10, yeah.
They said at least in these indictments,
yeah,
there were 10. And nobody's looking at the kids as the criminals here. They're victims.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably be treated that way. It's the financial managers and those advisors, the name Christian Dawkins, Munish Sood, Rashawn Michelle, and then the coaches, Chuck Person, who played in the NBA, and then Lamont Evans, Emmanuel Richardson, and then Tony Bland from USC. It's not good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not good. And those guys are likely going to jail.
Be interesting to see when this thing actually gets to court, you know.
I don't think any of it's going to go to court. Frankly, I think these guys are just going to plead guilty.
Yeah.
They're on tape.
Yeah, no reason to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy, Patino, that would be a...
So it was Oklahoma State, Auburn, Arizona, and USC, and they're also talking about, Louisville program. One of the kids was they reference payments of $100,000 from a company to the family of an unnamed player to secure his commitment to a school located in Kentucky with an enrollment of 22,640. So, yeah, it's Louisville.
That nails that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, that's
it's
sad.
It is. It really is. And the saddest thing about it is that anybody who believes that it's just these four guys,
mm-hmm.
you know,
there'll be more to come, I'm guessing.
Oh, gotta be. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's just scratching the surface. From what I've been listening to in sports radio, like an hour ago, they were already talking about there's more to come with it. So it's going to get real interesting.
Yeah, I know, Jake, that, at the high school level, baseball is a little different, but there are those kids who are playing with the travel ball teams, they're paying good money and they're, but those travel ball guys are making
careers out of it.
Yeah. Careers, money, lots of money,
mm-hmm.
lots and lots of money. And they have to have some influence with those kids. I mean,
mm-hmm.
here are these 17, 18-year-old kids,
right,
and they're looking over and going, hey, travel ball coach,
mm-hmm.
Oregon State wants me. UCLA wants me. What should I do?
Mm-hmm.
It's not always going to be an objective.
No.
It's who's back have I, who's washing my back.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And so that's, baseball, it's a little different. Basketball is, it's a racket.
Oh yeah. Just with baseball, the last 5 years it's been crazy, and you've been hearing, AAU basketball's, been worse, and I can't believe it. Just, from coaching, the last 5 years, it's, travel ball coaches are making, these travel ball teams a career now.
Right.
It's unbelievable. Guys are, making close to $100,000 going, working 3 days a week, going to 3 different fields. It's just, and basically selling themselves and selling to the parents that they can, take their, little Johnny to the next level, but
that's right.
They can't, because one thing, college recruiters are going to talk to your high school coaches because they see, we see them every day.
Right.
These travel ball coaches are kind of, scammers a little bit, and they're going to, tell every recruiter what, they want to hear.
Yeah, but it's different at the AAU level.
Oh, yeah.
The AAU guys, it's different. I think that a lot of these colleges are probably looking to these AAU
mm-hmm.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
And value their opinions above any of the high school
mm-hmm.
coaches.
Probably.
Who,
Sure. Yeah.
And they have influence, and it wasn't, I think it's unrealistic to think that, these four guys are the only ones who had.
No, yeah.
You know, that we're the only ones approached by these financial managers, by these Adidas guys. I mean, you know, two Adidas guys have already lost their jobs. I don't know the names of them, but you know, it's a big deal.
Wasn't it one Nike guy too? I was reading.
I think the one Nike guy might have been.
Was he in the clear?
Yeah,
it
was in the clear.
Okay.
There's two Adidas guys.
That's
so how long has this thing been developing?
Just
this summer.
Yeah, this summer. Then they just broke it today.
The one guy that they had in their pocket, who they had, you know, flipped. I don't know which guy that one is, but he was already in the FBI, and he was the one that they were sending out there to sort of trap these other guys,
right?
To wear the wire and trap those those assistant coaches and you know, all these other financial managers to get them to, you know, to talk on, you know, on tape. And because that guy they had already been investigating this for years,
right?
But these four guys, apparently these indictments are based on stuff that happened over the spring and summer, I think. And for specifically with Tony Bland from USC, it was all this summer from June on. It might be the only thing that saves USC from some severe sanction.
Wow.
Is that he was doing this on his own. His own time.
Well, school was out.
Yeah, well, school is out.
Yeah.
Wow. But who knows?
That's
who knows?
Yeah, exactly.